Now I would like to introduce almost MD, maybe half hour away, Cecilia Leggett, today's speaker from the graduating class of 2019 and the class president. Cece graduated, I should tell you, she gave me 2 sentences to introduce her. Then she sent me her CV. It could have been the whole book, but I did condense it, honest. Cece graduated from UC Berkeley in 2012, majoring in public health. She is passionate about public policy and advocacy. Before starting medical school, she completed a Teach for America term of service near Washington, D.C., where she taught 7th grade science and led both the vocal performance and urban farm clubs at a public school in an underserved community. During medical school, much of her extracurriculum involvement focused on medical school advocacy, on healthcare policy and public health at local, state, and national levels. She is a 2019 class president, was a recipient of the UC San Diego Integrity Award, and was nominated by her peers and endorsed by the School of Medicine faculty to be a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. In addition to all that, during medical school, Cece worked in the California State Assembly as an intern, represented UCSD medical students in our 2018 LCME National Accreditation Reviews, raised over $9,000 for the class of 2019, helped create and promote a medical school course entitled Business in Medicine. Maybe you should teach some of us that too. Organized student, developed and led political awareness guides and educational activities, was regional chair for the AMA student section, published 2 papers, presented at 3 national meetings, and was first author on 6 editorials for a variety of topics for national, state, and local organization papers and briefings. Wow. And she graduated. Almost. After medical school, Cece will continue her professional training as a resident in obstetrics and gynecology at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles. Please join me in welcoming Cece Leggett.
Thank you, Dean Garfin, for that introduction. That's definitely not what I wrote. To Chancellor Khosla, Vice Chancellor Brenner, Dr. Besser, our School of Medicine deans, faculty, and alumni, good morning. To our family and friends, thank you for getting us here today and across the finish line. And to my class of 2019, congratulations. Today, we are celebrating an incredibly talented and compassionate group of people. 4 years ago, we were told that going to medical school would be like trying to take a sip of water from a fire hose. And they weren't wrong. It was really hard, but we did it. And now we are mere moments away from becoming physicians, entering this field at an incredible moment in history, and getting ready to be the doctors that can and will shape the future of medicine. In the past 4 years, whether on a test or asked by an attending, we answered thousands of questions. But I think we have one question left to answer before we leave campus today, and that is, what will be our lasting memory of UC San Diego School of Medicine? I think the answer will be different for each of us. For me, UCSD will always represent opportunity. When I applied to medical school, I was offered just one interview at one medical school, this school. And though that one acceptance should have been a victory that lifted me up, there were times when it felt more like evidence that maybe I didn't belong here. Can I really do this? What if UCSD admissions was wrong about me? Dr. Kelly, are you sure? But didn't we all feel this way, at least at some point during our time in medical school? Residency, our collective next chapter, will be challenging. There will probably be moments, hopefully fleeting, where we experience doubt, nervousness, uncertainty. When those moments arise, I know my memories of UCSD will bring me reassurance. For me, UCSD is my reminder to seize opportunities for growth and learning with confidence and to believe in myself. Because despite whatever moments of doubt I had along the way, here I am today. Here you are today. And if you also struggled with feelings of maybe you didn't belong, well, today's overwhelming indisputable evidence that we do. We are about to become doctors, and what an amazing time to be entering this field. In the past few years, healthcare has completely captured our nation's attention. We are entering the profession at a moment in history when, one way or another, our country is looking to redefine healthcare delivery. As physicians, we are the front lines of American healthcare. We bear witness to its failures and its successes. Our patients, our families, even our legislators will want to know, doctor, what should we do? Now, as new residents, we won't have all the answers, not right away, but I believe it's part of our duty to figure out how to answer that question and use our positions of privilege as physicians to advocate for better quality and better access to care for all. While we're on the subject of healthcare, what about our own healthcare? We are also entering this field at a time when physician wellness is a priority at residency programs throughout the country. When I was on the interview trail, every single program director mentioned their wellness initiatives. Why is that? I think medicine attracts hardworking personalities. We push ourselves when we're tired. When our brains are fully saturated with information, we strive to learn just one more fact. But isn't it ironic that in making others well, we sometimes neglect our own wellness? We're tough, but we're not invincible, and we need to take care of ourselves. You know how when you're taking a flight, regardless of what airline, the crew always gives the same safety presentation. And you may leave your headphones on, you might even keep playing Candy Crush, but one piece of advice sticks with us. Put your oxygen mask on before assisting others. This advice makes sense on an airplane, and I think it's going to apply to residency as well. If we want to take care of patients safely, effectively, and compassionately, we must be willing to also take care of ourselves. I hope that we all, myself included, remember that advice in a few short weeks as we start residency. So, if your program is implementing wellness initiatives, let's participate in them. If they ask us to visualize our joy for 2 minutes in between patients, let's try it, even if we have our doubts. Call your loved ones, rest when you need to, stock your fridge with plenty of food, including ice cream, and most important, act with kindness. It is amazing how something as simple as being nice can lift your own spirits. So let's act with kindness towards our colleagues, towards the medical students that we will be entrusted to teach, towards our patients, but also let's act with kindness and compassion towards ourselves. The medical field is changing in so many ways, and again, I marvel at what an incredible time it is to enter this field. As doctors, we will spend our careers on the front lines of innovation and medical advancement, but progress and change within our field isn't limited to scientific advancement. The face of our field is changing. Medical schools across the country have made improving diversity within the medical field a priority, and there has been a lot of success to celebrate. For example, last year, for the first time in history, women represented the slight majority of both applicants and matriculants to medical schools in the United States. It's an amazing step forward. However, there's still much work to do in other areas. Particularly, we have a lot of work to do in ensuring racial equity and diversity in our field. Today, African Americans represent just 7% of medical students, and Hispanic students, just 6%. It's not equity, it's not okay. Diversity is important within our field, whether that diversity is based on ethnic background, race, gender, sexuality, religion, geography, and whether that means from coast to coast or even transcending the international borders that attempt to divide us. Diversity is imperative if we are to deliver excellent care to our patients. Now, I know this from personal experience. During an away rotation on labor and delivery, I had a patient who only spoke Arabic. And after her delivery, she seemed kind of down. And not your typical just delivered a baby without an epidural kind of down. Something felt kind of off, but she insisted that she was fine. I was worried that there was a cultural barrier between us that was getting in the way of my ability to assess her. Luckily, the psychiatrist on call not only spoke Arabic, but he was from her same country. So we put in a consult. The next day, I went to say goodbye to the patient, and she told me with her husband translating that she had felt safe with that psychiatrist because he didn't just know her language, he knew her culture. And because she felt safe, she was able to share that she had been experiencing active suicidal thoughts, that she moved here as a refugee, was a victim of war, and hadn't spoken to her family since arriving in the States. She held my hand and she said, "Thank you for helping me share my pain." She was discharged with a plan in place to see a local psychiatrist with whom she felt comfortable. That is the power of diversity in medicine. Diversity among our colleagues enables us to deliver care that can save lives. Equity and inclusion initiatives often call upon people to become allies for causes related to diversity. And I know that all of us here at UCSD consider ourselves allies. But I want to call upon my class, and everyone here, if you're willing, to take it one step further. Famous American author Ta-Nehisi Coates once explained in an interview that we need to go beyond becoming allies to other people. And instead, we must understand that you're not helping someone in a particular struggle. The fight is yours. As we continue our medical careers, I hope we will all be active supporters of diversity in medicine. When a door of opportunity opens for you, reach back and pull others in with you. Recognize your own biases and don't be afraid to confront them head on. When you see bias from a colleague or the system, be bold and speak up. We can build upon the great work that has been done towards diversity, inclusion, and equity within our field. Now, I'll close here, but I want to say to family and friends that we are celebrating a really special group of people today. If I mentioned the achievements of every single person in my class, we would be here until the next white coat ceremony. But you do have your programs to get an idea of our eclectic interests and the commitment to service among my classmates. But I do want to paint a picture for you, give you an idea of the class that we're celebrating today. Ginny Chang. Ginny created the food pantry at our student-run free clinic, which has supplied one of San Diego's most vulnerable patient populations with a steady supply of food for the past 4 years and will continue to do so long after she graduates with us today. We are dedicated. We serve our communities. Rachel Van Holbeck. I once served on a panel with her at orientation for the class of 2022. A student asked her, "What do you do to relieve stress?" And she said, "I enjoy working out." Now, Rachel is a gold medal winning Olympian in women's soccer. If I had her medal, I would talk about it. I would be wearing it right now. But she didn't use that moment to brag or humble brag. She just answered the student's question. We are humble. We're strong. David Lee. He was the chair of the medical student section of the California Medical Association. So in addition to his normal coursework and away rotations as an emergency medicine applicant, it was his job to organize the advocacy efforts of all the medical students in the state of California. Because of him, we had a loud, compelling, and organized voice in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. We are advocates. We are leaders. When we started medical school, Chaitna Pathak was the only parent in our class. If you ask her, she'll tell you that even with an impending final exam, having a little life to take care of when she got home gave her invaluable perspective about the important things in life. And when it comes to capacity for hard work, she was an example to us all. Come fourth year, we have a couple new parents in my class. We have Rachel, Joel, Alex, and Graham. And like all the family and friends here today who supported us and got us to this happy day, we too are caretakers. That's just the tiniest glimpse of the amazing work and the amazing class before you today. We are a strong group of future physicians. We are dedicated to serving and advocating for our patients. We are the products of mentorship by UCSD faculty and alumni. We are the graduating class on UCSD's 50th anniversary, and we are the future of medicine, and the future is bright. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations.